the keeper of the woods. Deep in the heart of Blackthorn Forest, where the trees whispered secrets and the river hummed lullabies, lived an old woman named Edna. The villagers spoke of her in hushed tones, some with reverence, others with suspicion. She had lived there for as long as anyone could remember, never aging, never changing, always alone. People called her the Keeper. Many believed she was a witch, but those who dared visit her hut found no cauldrons or dark magic, only a home filled with herbs, dried flowers, and shelves lined with books older than the village itself. Edna was a healer, a woman of wisdom who understood the language of nature better than any human tongue. But time had made the villagers forget her kindness. One autumn evening, a young man named Tobias ventured into the woods. He was the son of the village chief, arrogant and impatient. The land had grown barren, and the village elders blamed the forest, claiming it was cursed. Tobias was sent to confront the old woman and demand she leave, believing her presence had angered the gods. When he arrived, Edna was in her garden, tending to a patch of wild mushrooms. She looked up, her sharp green eyes locking onto him. "You have come with fire in your heart," she said calmly. "I've come with a warning," Tobias declared. "Leave this forest, or we'll drive you out. The land is dying, and the elders say it's because of you." Edna sighed, brushing the dirt from her hands. "The land isn't dying because of me. It's dying because of greed." Tobias scoffed. "The village is starving, and you hoard the forest's gifts." She shook her head. "No, child. The forest has always given freely. But your people have taken more than it can heal." Seeing the disbelief in his eyes, Edna led him to the riverbank. She pointed to the dry, cracked soil. Once, the river flowed strong, nourishing the land. But the village cut down the trees for wood and blocked the streams for their mills. Then she took him to the clearing where deer once grazed. It was empty now. You hunted not for need, but for sport. Now, the animals have fled. Tobias's arrogance wavered, but he still clung to his mission. "Then help us. If you have so much wisdom, why do you let us suffer?" Edna smiled sadly. "I have helped, more than you know. The medicines that heal your sick, the seeds that still grow in barren soil, I left them at your doorstep. But true healing requires change." Tobias was silent. He had seen the mysterious bundles of herbs appear at the healer's hut, the seeds that bore fruit when nothing else would. Could it have been her all along? Humbled, he knelt before Edna. "Tell me what to do." She placed a hand on his shoulder. "Return balance to the land. Plant more than you take. Let the river flow. Honor the forest, and it will heal you in return." Tobias carried her message back to the village. At first, the elders resisted, unwilling to believe the words of the witch. But when the first winter frost threatened to starve them, Tobias took matters into his own hands. He gathered the young men and women, and together they replanted trees, cleared the river's path, and vowed to hunt only what was necessary. By spring, the village flourished. The river ran clear, the soil grew rich, and the animals returned. The villagers no longer feared Edna, they revered her. But when Tobias returned to the woods to thank her, she was gone. Only her hut remained, overgrown with ivy, as if nature had reclaimed it. Some say she was never just an old woman, but the spirit of the forest itself, guiding those who would listen. The moral of the story is respect nature, and it will provide. Greed leads to ruin, but balance brings prosperity.